Well, with President Tinubu's administration, which is 4 months old. How will you describe the challenge of governance so far?
Well, certainly, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office with the fullest grasp of the challenges that lay before him. He understood that he was coming in to the twin troubles of a petroleum motor spirit subsidy that had gulped the nation's resources, put us in a position where we had to engage in massive borrowing just to fulfill our most basic obligations, which undermined our ability to make the investments we needed to make across sectors to grow our economy. Economic growth indices had stagnated. We had, of course, a foreign exchange regime that was totally polarized. We are still contending with that, even though we have seen major moves over the course of the last several weeks and months to deal conclusively with that, including a major step taken today by the Central Bank of Nigeria, but I'm sure we will get into that later on in the program. So again, you have some of the challenges that we knew that we would anticipate running into. Then you had some challenges that you could not have known you were going to run into, such as the crisis in Niger Republic, such as some of the other challenges we've seen with respect to what's going on in Gabon, and some of the geopolitical tensions around the world that are having direct impact on our on things like energy prices globally, on things like food prices globally, when you look at what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and of course, most recently in the Gaza Strip. So there are so many factors in terms of some of the challenges we would have anticipated and would not have anticipated. But ultimately, I think there is a clear consensus on the part of our international partners that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken all the right steps at just the right time to bring Nigeria back from the brink. Now, the question is about what we're going to do next to build on the remarkable and bold initiatives which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already embarked upon in the early days of his administration.
All right. So the president has embarked on economic diplomacy to attract foreign investments to the country. How will you describe it?
Well, I have been in a unique position to be in the room when His Excellency Mr. President has been engaging with investors from around the world. And what has really struck me as a nearby observer of what I saw was the excitement and the urgency with which investors stream into the presence of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, the business community, the investor community, is a tight one. The world is a big place, but sometimes it shrinks into very small spaces. And you see that when you see, the presence of investors from around the world at various summits, which His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has led. And one of the things that we've seen is what we campaigned on, which is that many of the investors have a direct or indirect history with His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he served as the executive governor of Lagos State. Many remember that, 23, 24 years ago, there was a governor in Lagos State who was telling international investors, if you come to Lagos, you will not only prosper, but you will thrive beyond even your wildest expectations. And many of the investors who listened to him at that time have now seen that what he promised them then has come to fruition. And so when he comes to engage the world as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the word spreads around very quickly that this man has a history. We have a history working with him, and we believe that he's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do when he says that Nigeria is the next major investment destination in the world. So we have benefited massively from that. I was I think I would say maybe even taken aback, really, that when we were in New York City for the UN General Assembly, On the sidelines of that, you may recall that there was an investor roundtable organized in part by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, where American industrialists, sat at the same table with Nigerian industrialists, chaired by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And on the sidelines of that summit, there were one-on-one meetings taken by President Tinubu with some of the global CEOs of major firms, such as Chevron in the energy sector, such as Siemens in the healthcare and technology sector, as well as energy and power. And when I was in the room, what I saw was a real eagerness to know what the opportunities were and to see what was on the table from the Nigerian side with respect to how they might make significant investments in the Nigerian economy for the mutual benefit of both parties. So you see the interest. There's no question that there's the interest. But there's generally been a fascination with the Nigerian economy because of our large, our large market size, our youthful, demographic dividend that companies are ready to take advantage of. But now it's being matched with a president who is a business mogul, who is an accountant and a man of numbers, who is a man of a proven track record with respect to how we can attract investments and create an environment in which those investments can thrive on a sustainable basis. He's proven it in Lagos, and Nigerians, as a result of that, investors are listening to him when he talks about the entire nation. So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, what we're seeing is the president really taking advantage of every possible opportunity. He's not only, extending and advancing the message of investment in Nigeria and on the prospects and promise of investing in Nigeria at investment summits. He's taking that message into bilateral meetings. He's taking that message into meetings between him and other heads of state from across multiple continents from around the world, saying that, look, I have studied your economy. From our president. He's telling other presidents he's studied their economies. He knows where they have comparative advantage, where they have high-level skills and experience in certain sectors of their economies. And he's asking the right questions and giving the right account of what is possible in Nigeria with respect to how their companies can come into the Nigerian Federation and prosper in a way that's mutually beneficial, not just for them, but for Nigerian workers and the Nigerian economy at large. So these are the conversations I've seen. If you look at, for example, an engagement we had in New York on the sidelines of the UNGA, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sat with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and was very clear about what the prospects could be with respect to the fact that South African companies have already thrived in the Nigerian economic system across multiple sectors, whether it's in the retail shopping, whether it's in telecommunications, and others. So the message Mr. President sent is, look, that he understood that the South Africans have decades-long experience in mining, that they have decades-long experience in minerals processing, that now is the time to leverage on that experience, on that technical know-how and capacity to be able to come into Nigeria and take advantage of the opportunities presented by a largely untapped solid mineral sector. And fortunately for us, we have a go-getter as a Minister of Solid Minerals at the moment in the person of Chief Dele Alake. So there are a lot of opportunities that the President sees, but there are many opportunities that many others have not seen in terms of knowing which country to engage concerning which sector that the President fortunately does see and is now taking advantage of by presenting this vision to foreign heads of state so that they can mobilize their private companies to come into Nigeria and do business with Nigerians for the benefit of Nigerian workers and for the benefit of the Nigerian economy. There's really a lot to look forward to concerning Mr. President's very bold economic diplomatic mission around the world.